Alright. Hey guys, what is up? It's Killer Heater, Kenny here. Um this is Home. It is a unique horror adventure about a man who wakes up in the middle of some random house. Now I'm playing this up with the actually I should probably turn off my music. Do that. Perfect. Turn up the volume. Volume's all the way up. Now I'm gonna read and I'm gonna play. But I did play this on the PS Vita and I have done multiple endings. It was a body lying on the floor. Who was it? But I have played this I've played this a couple times, coming back and going to Virginia. The desk had a computer on it and some papers and a single drawer. I didn't want to snoop, but did I open the drawer? I did. Receipts, pens, and a blurry photo looked like a store of some kind. Why did this look so familiar? But I'm gonna read this and hopefully I can do this in one playthrough. But if not, I'm gonna just kind of record and then they'll both go up at hopefully the same time. I have no idea, but I noticed that I limped as I moved down the stairs. How did I hurt my leg? I wondered. All I could really recall was coming home, seeing Rachel. I was upset. She looked afraid. I shook my head and I tried to clear it. I knew I should head downstairs to try to find a way out. But this game doesn't hold a dear place in my heart. I just really, really love this game. And how the dude kind of... Motherfucker. But this theme is really unique in its own way. But it didn't look like there was a keyhole. Maybe I could find another way to open it. The game, it's a bit different, so to speak. It's... Oh, I'm fucking dumb. Boom. The game is a very... The front door is blocked by a pile of furniture. I knew I had to find another way out, and the back door is the other way out, because I've played this so many goddamn times. Oh, that's a little weird. You little bastards. Yeah, there you go, man. Be free. A photo similar to the one when I picked up, it had been moved. There seemed to be a switch behind it. Press the switch. Nice. But I do really enjoy this game because it's super unique in its own little ways, and there's multiple endings. But the game is like, there was a ladder going underground where the box was. A dank smell arose from the passage, and I climbed down the ladder. Indeed, I did. I looked again at the photo. I found the house. The couple looked distant, like they didn't want to be in the same picture. I wondered where the wife was. My leg was in a terrible shape, but I had to get out. Footprints, the same as one of my shoes. And most of these are just objects that I could... It was so dark down there. The air smelled stale and putrid. I couldn't believe what I saw. What was this place? And I think I guess I was... There looked to be bones half dug into the ground. The remains looked old. The faded clothes that stuck up amongst the dirt looked familiar. And then what I put there, because I skipped it by accident, that It's his wife, the dude upstairs' wife. I'm not gonna say his name. Some kind of homemade rack, slung together with poorly cut wooden rope. It was caked with old blood. Somebody didn't actually use that, did they? This is some shit that I'm not gonna lie, I do enjoy doing. Real quick, there we go. That always looks like the figure. I get it. Why don't you understand? But this game is some of this shit is I'm really not gonna read. As I do, yes, I did climb down. I could hear a faint hum, and the smell from before started to get worse. I did this for Unfinished 1 Part 2, when I didn't have... That is fucking scary. When I didn't have, when I'd already kind of played through it and I didn't get the footage. It was a little weird. Yep, and then the fucking water. Kitchen knife covered in drying blood. But most of that shit's just miscellaneous. Jesus, most of it is just miscellaneous text. But my God, does this dude really know how to make a horror game? A unique one at that. Ooh. But I'm gonna be getting exit. This game is fantastic in its own special little way. If you guys kind of get what I'm going at. Grab the clock. I could smell a hint of fresh air here. I was anxious to leave, but worried that I'd missed something. I did miss something, and it's a tape. Climbing the ladder was agony. I could feel the knife in my boot. Should I have gone back to check that locker I had passed? Suddenly I could smell only a welcome pine-scented old breeze. You go. But it's a very interesting, unique game. Yeah. But there are multiple endings. Okay, well, but I'm alright. I'll start reading again because I did enjoy it. I don't even know where I left off. I'm not even gonna fucking lie. Magic in it. As I stepped through the gate, I suddenly recognized the auto parts factory where I'd worked as a mechanist Oh, Jesus Christ, Mechanist for all these years. The plant had closed almost 3 years ago now. Times were better then. I thought I could hear a faint rustling behind me. Maybe it was just the wind. What if I got it? Not another victim. I took it from his uniform that he was a security guard there, just doing his job. His head had been severely beaten, and his face was covered with blood. Dug in the ground was a cracked old watch. It was mine. I bought it on a trip out west with Rachel. I barely went a day without wearing it. It didn't look like it worked anymore. It was heavy. Did I take back my watch? Even though it no longer ran, I clasped the watch around my... But this game is very, very unique. Every part of this plant smelled old and rotten. I noticed the old bulletin board on the wall. Where is it? This it? The board contained yellow clippings of newspaper cartoons and notices. There were notes to and from the guys that worked here. One of them was to Norman. Who was one of the older guys on the line? Power's on. Home, wake me up, This was Norman's locker. The door was dented like someone had punched it. I don't remember him doing that while we worked here. I can't wake up. But I do love doing these kind of games. The locker was a complete mess, and at the bottom though was a magnetic card. Did I take the card? I did indeed. Shout out to Evanescence. Shout out to Mike. Wake me up. Wake me up inside. Save my room. The key I found seemed like it would pass through this reader. Did I use the key card? Of course I did. There was some kind of ventilation. Looked like I jumped to the room below. My leg hurt us. I couldn't see another option. Did I jump? Whee! Oh man, my leg hurt like hell. There was a crumpled up letter on the floor. It had been scratched out heavily. It was hard to make out. Did I try to read the letter? Most of the letter was violently scratched out with what looked like to be a ballpoint pen. All I could make out was blank me to blank. Just don't blank drinking blank. Don't blank me blank Norman. Why was Norman writing? Who was Norman writing to? This time I got my lamp. I couldn't see. The poor guy was. The flashlight I carried his. I have a flashlight. It looked like he had met it violent. He had met his end violently. I only hoped it was quick. I had to get to Rachel, but I couldn't stop thinking about Norman. He and Rachel were friends. Could he help? It wasn't like he had anyone else to turn to. Like burned with pain. Only hoped I could find my way through the dark path before me and to get to Norman's store. I can't wake up. Sounded like it was going to start raining again. I better get inside. Because I get to throw on these really cool voices. I had entered Norman's place. This was the back of the store that he ran. It was oddly quiet except for the faint sound of a television. Television! Hello, There's a bit of blood. Wake me up. Wake me. What the hell? One of Rachel's old autumn coats hanging on a rack? That was Norman's bedroom, wasn't it? What was this doing here? There was a well-mantled... I don't know how much about guns. I didn't look... TV still flickered some indecipherable channel. I can't read. Oh no, I couldn't believe what I was seeing. Norman, my coworker and one of my few friends I had in this town, lay dead beside his armchair. His face and shirt were covered in blood. Looked like he'd been stabbed or something trying to get up. His eyes were still with shock. Norman, what was Rachel doing here? Why did you have her coat? Norman, maybe you deserved better. You probably did. Did I close his eyes? Sorry, Norman, but at that moment, I was too confused to worry about you. I needed to find Rachel, to find some answers. I've been diving, Miss Daisy. I guess this was Norman's kitchen table. He kept it clean enough, but there were water rings from 2 cups still in the wood. The kitchen trash bin smelled fresh. I didn't dig through it, did I? Alright, I think I can pick... It was a large cardboard box that hadn't been sealed. Did I open it? I opened the old box. I wasn't entirely surprised by what I saw. There were more things of Rachel's. More of my wife's clothes. Photos, shoes, even that old radio I gave her. Why, Rachel? What were you doing here with Norman? I'm gonna guess that her and Rachel were making the lovin'. I'm gonna guess that because all of her shit's at his house. Well, if I can take a cough drop because I'm indeed sick. Gotta do. There we go. I used the hairpick. The hair was snapped in half, so I threw it away. The general store was small, but it was clean. It had the usual things: postcards, snacks, magazines, and canned goods. I never went there much. Rachel usually stopped by after work if we needed anything. The register was mostly empty, and a fat sack of travel magazines sat beside it. Were you thinking of going somewhere with Rachel, Norman? Uh-oh. The icebox seemed to be unplugged. It must have been off for a while. Most of its contents were half melted. There were various postcards from the area, especially from the tourist traps. One of the postcards showed an old black and white photo of the water tower. It looked to be in much better shape then. And then I continued to take horrible turn after horrible turn. It had been weeks since I'd last seen Norman. To find him like that. Who could have done that to him? Seeing that dusty box of old clothes was a shock. How long had they been there? And what was Rachel doing in Norman's place? I felt like I had only discovered more questions, no answers. But I was close to home. It was time to find out the truth. Alright, sweetest. It was locked. This wasn't the right gate. I think they all said the same thing. The gate was locked tight. This wasn't my house. Still trying to do. The neighbor's local post bucket. Letter was sticking out. I knew it wasn't right, but did I look at the letter? The envelope was addressed to Norman. There was no return. But Harry took a deep breath and tore the... Norman, I'm sending this to you. a letter because I'm afraid to tell you this in person. What we did, well, it was wrong. My husband isn't an easy man to be with. But he is my husband and your friend. I need some time to sort this out, and away from you both. I'm going away for a while. I'm going to tell him, Norman, so don't you think you can hold that against me. Maybe we'll work it out. I'm not sure I even want to, but he deserves at least that much. Goodbye. Damn. That gate was locked tight. This wasn't my house. I had the wrong gate. This one was locked. It's good blood here. Well, I'm gonna guess this is my house. I had entered our backyard. The rain gave me a terrible sense of foreboding, and it chilled me through my clothes. I was expectant, but also afraid. You can tell that's mushrooms or whatever. I held my breath as I approached our back door. I was terrified to step inside. I'm gonna do it. The house was painfully quiet. The only sound was my breathing, my own breathing. Ragged, and strained. I flicked the light switch by the door. Power was out. I remembered having breakfast here, on this very table. Was that yesterday? Or sometime before? I guess it comes for your heart. Door to the basement was locked. Where did I put that damned key? When strobes hits you. I'm gonna go watch a new Mr. T Lexify video. The door was stuck shut. And there was an old-fashioned key holder in. But I did stream this and I didn't get far into it. Our television, I had purchased it before I'd known I was going to lose my job. I felt pretty guilty about it, but afterwards, but by then, it was too late. Well, when the strobe hits you, that's a friend, Mr. Krabs. Our hallway mirror had been smashed, its pieces scattered around the floor. Our sink, which needed to be replaced, one of the taps always stuck, but I hadn't gotten around to fixing it yet. We were lucky enough to get a house with one of these wonderful old claw-footed bathtubs. Ooh, I've always wanted to see one of those. Get up the bro. It gets better the more you say. My laptop had been left on. The only thing but the old water tower. There was a key in the top of the drawer. Did I take the key? I pocketed the key. Yeah, it comes through the ground. Yeah, my influence is loud. Ooh. Oh. Close now. Hey, try sad to see you. My wife's, Rachel's suitcase was sitting on the bed. It was closed, but it had a feeling. I had a feeling what was in it. Did I open it? I didn't want to know. Rather, I didn't want to confirm what I suspected. It was closed. Fuck, let's open it. Rachel's suitcase contained clothes, toiletries, and a train ticket. Is this what you were going to do with Norman? Fam, she was... In the swamp hits you. I think it was this door. No, it's gotta be a basement door. I had put up this divider wall last summer, so I hadn't finished it yet, so the door was stuck. The drywall was fully installed. I might have been able to break through if I had found something heavy enough. Ooh, Buried Alive, good song. No, that's the bathroom. Fam. This door. I don't know which room it is. Buried alive. The door was stuck shut. There was an old-fashioned key. I don't even know which room this is. Oh, it's the television room. Piss out, Dad's gone. Just telling me I can't go back. I'm so OCD if they know it's me. Man. Was this where it was? With the developer, I think his name is Benjamin Rivers. I think. I'm not too sure. I think his name is Benjamin Rivers. But, Benjamin, man, fantastic fucking game. I couldn't even remember our last Christmas. The garbage bag was stuffed with old paint cans. There was a dirty key here. Did I take it? Of course I did. The grimy key I found in the basement unlocked the door. It looked like the room had been tossed around. The furniture was a mess. Did somebody break in here? There was an old crowbar on the floor. Did I need to take the crowbar? This is a heavy crowbar. I appreciated its weight. Ooh, that could break through the drywall down in the basement. Put me on the back now. Did I break through the drywall with the Did I break through the wall with the crowbar? And with a heave, I swung the crowbar at the wall. I smashed a hole large enough to step through. As I stepped through the broken wall, my breath caught in my throat. This was it. Was Rachel down here? Was she okay? Rachel! Don't look. She had a bad scar. A filthy-looking pile of rags had been dumped in the corner. The stench of them was awful, and it made my eyes water. I was terrified to even touch the pile to see what was lay beneath, but I knew I had to. I had come this far. After all this searching, after all I had seen, when I looked within the rags, did I finally find my Rachel? Now this is asking me, did he find Rachel, or did he find, or did he, or did he, or didn't he, or did he not? He didn't. The rags were wet, matted and covered in dirt and grime, but inside the tattered mess was no sign of my beloved wife. Rachel wasn't there. I looked around in confusion, trying to figure out what to do next. She wasn't there. Where was she? What I had been searching for this entire time. I remembered the look on Rachel's face when I came home. Didn't I? Then the awful realization hit me right in the gut. I had been looking at this the wrong way. Oh Jesus. Hadn't I? This is what you've been trying to tell me all along, isn't it? I couldn't find Rachel there, and I won't find her anywhere else because she was never there at all, was she? I stumbled back up the stairs, the pain in my legs just a dull ache now, and sat down in my bedroom. My mind was spinning. Jesus. The ache I felt before was near crippling. Finally, I could no longer fight the exhaustion, and as I tried to grab hold of something that would make sense of all of this, I must have drifted off. You would have, Huh? I like to remember things. There's a trophy I just got for fucking it up and saying, "There's a photo of the other man and his wife that I found in that house." Alright. And then this is where you can kind of fuck the story hard. And this is where you can kind of psychologically mindfuck the character, yourself. You ready for this? It was the key card I found in the factory, the one that allowed me to slip through that door. It seemed to me that it was probably Norma's. But if that was true, what was he planning to do with the plan? Did I think Norm was going back to the factory? Someone was going through those lockers, sure, but I didn't think it was Norman. Dear little bastard, my dog just fucking... The laptop had finally run out of power. You scared me. But this is where you can kind of, like, put two and two together. Oh no, there we go. My old office is set on before I used to keep tax records. What's up, Fajit? There's a trophy for opening the safe as well. But this game is just, there's multiple endings, and, alright, it was a letter I had taken from the post box, and it got a bit wet in the rain, but well, who wrote that letter then? Who was Norman seeing? Oh no, Norman. If I was wrong about Rachel, then what about him? Did I do that horrible thing to him? I must have, but why? Did we fight, or was I tricked into thinking he was sneaking around with Rachel? What was happening to me? I had that old TV for so long, I don't know if I could ever replace it. It seemed like it seemed like all I had seen all there was. Maybe I thought I was ready to go back into the basement. Maybe there wouldn't be anything for me to find. Why did I take one last look? If I was guilty, I could take this to a warm, safe place. To do something about it. Did I pick up the knife? No. There was other means of dealing with this. The wall was cracked and pitted. I was told by an inspector that the basement had been partially filled in before I bought the house. But by the look of that wall, I was going to need to fix the foundation. Everything smelled musty down there. Now, if you guys can put two and two together with that knife, there's multiple ways of ending it. How many breakfasts I had eaten here, completely alone? Come to think of it, I don't think I've ever... I had even had guests over. Now am I wrong? Trying to reach the things that I can't see. This was it. With Rachel gone, I couldn't stand to be in that house a moment longer. Did I leave and say goodbye to that nightmare forever? I did. Since I had arrived in town, things had been difficult. Working the plant, though, had been good for me. It kept me in line, gave me something to do, and helped me get away from the past. With the factory closed, everything changed. I guess that was when I had started sleepwalking, disappearing for hours at a time. Drinking was probably just a way to deal with it. It was almost as if I was trying to beat my brain at its own game. Things stopped making sense sometime after that, and my memories of what happened are still in flux. I suppose that was when Rachel came along. This night had been the worst of my entire life. Would it even be possible to bounce back from everything that had happened? Everything I'd seen? You know, in a way, I almost wish I hadn't even woke up tonight. It would have spared me a lot of pain. That man I found in the old house had killed his wife. I was sure of it, just as sure as I killed mine. And what was hidden within those sewers I'd found? The tunnel to the man's house obviously led there. But was there something I missed? Was I so busy worrying about Rachel that I was blind? The forest, especially, was a difficult minute. I would rest easier if I had never saw it dislikes again. At least I was adamant that Norman wasn't the one going back through that old plant. But who was? Do you think it was me? Is there something you didn't want me to see? Didn't want us to discuss? I had to catch my breath to take it all in. At each point until the factory, things had only gotten worse. But then, going to Norman's store, that's where the confusion and doubt started to set in. That's when my perspective on all this really started to change. Norman, you bastard, I killed you. And it was clear to me why. I know what. It was clear to me now why. You had taken Rachel from me. You were going to take her away altogether. In the end, you got what you deserved. But as painful as all of that was, oh no, I couldn't bear to think about it again. After all I had seen and done, finally coming home was supposed to be the end to all this ordeal. I had no idea, though, that it was only the beginning. When I had first stepped through that kitchen door, the silence had been unnerving. But to think that I went through all of the complete unaware of... But to think that I went through all of that completely unaware of what I would discover I'd killed Norman thinking that that there was something going on. Everything that I held dear and true was now spinning around me. I had nothing to ground me, nothing to give me purpose, or even the faintest hope of reason. Without Rachel, without what I thought was Rachel, I was lost forever. As the door swung open, I could smell damp grass and the closeness of the air. After everything, it felt like I had more questions than answers. You made me see the truth, I'll give you that. But now I was completely lost. You took away the thing that had kept me going. I was sure a word would get out, and soon enough the police would come looking for me. And what then? Would you be there to show me the way? What will I do then? Ladies and gentlemen, that is Home. That was a short little indie game that I got a while ago, because it was, and this is all the Kickstarters, which is fucking fantastic. But if you guys don't understand, I murdered my wife and murdered Norman because I put two and two together that they were kind of together behind my back, and I was not pleased. Home was dedicated to my wife, Nancy. Watch your back. I enjoyed this. The end. But this game was there's different endings, and if you guys want me to definitely do the different endings, there's Benjamin Rivers' icon or logo. But if you guys want me to do the different endings, please tell me, and I will run through this again. But I hope you guys enjoyed this this little indie game that I was glad that I could speed run. Not speed run and play, but and kind of do different things and talk about it and record it. But I hope you guys enjoyed Home, a unique horror adventure by Benjamin Rivers. Yeah, that's his name. I had his name right. I just couldn't think of it. But I hope you guys enjoyed Home, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye! Fucking Jesus Christ.